They're violent, they're angry, they're disturbed, they can go stiff as a board.
Are there different stages of demonic possession?
The first and most simple would be just basically what I call demonic interference, and that's what we all experience this, whether we believe in demons or evil or not. And that's the Yetzer Hara experience. That's like, going through and doing something, but all of a sudden, like, there's this kind of negative voice in the back of your subconscious saying, why don't you do this? This would be better, even though you know it's wrong. That would be demonic interference. That would be sort of the first stage, honestly, because in a lot of cases, that if that's allowed to progress, if a person's allowed to, it indulges too much in those temptations, it can include a sort of upward spiral, or I should say a downward spiral into deeper forms of demonic activity. So the second is more severe, and that's going to be like demonic obsession. And demonic obsession is when it affects mostly their psyche and their emotional centers. This is a very difficult stage because this is almost indistinguishable from mental illness. The third would be demonic oppression, and that's where it can look a lot like possession, but it's not. The person still has control over their own faculties, but now it starts to affect their external world, it starts to affect their family, it starts to affect their health. And then the last stage is possession. So that's going to be when they no longer have control over their faculties, where they truly lose themselves in this evil persona that sort of takes over and speaks for them and controls them and completely destroys their life and their relationships.
So when we talk about like a full possession, what does that look like? What does that really look like?
They're violent, they're angry, they're disturbed, they can go stiff as a board, they can increase in strength far beyond what a person of their stature could normally produce. I've seen little old ladies be able to really wrestle you out wrestle 5 guys. I've seen children knock 2 guys over, with just moving their arm. I mean, it can be very exaggerated in that respect. You'll sometimes see words not quite like where it comes out in this 3-dimensional help me, but there'll be like scratches on the body that will form letters that can turn into words or symbols.
I'll be dramatic and kind of asking the inevitable question, right? But what would you say to somebody who might be listening to this and just, what are you talking about, right? Like, what is this? None of this is real. You can't prove any of this.
It's not about proving it. See, incorporeal experience has to be dealt with at the level of where that individual's at. And so it doesn't matter if it's objectively true to you or not. What matters is a person's having an experience and it is destroying their life, and the church and its methods work. So why would we not use it just because you don't believe in it? You're not that important. None of us are, so a person that rejects it, okay, reject it. That's your prerogative. But for the people that actually go through this, they're grateful that there is an individual that cares enough to be able to help them through it. And hopefully the church is doing its job in that, because that's what it exists to do, is to help people through those incorporeal challenges. I mean, so to me, it's irrelevant whether or not people believe it or not. I don't do this to prove it to myself or to prove it to anyone. I do this because it works, and it's worked for thousands of years. All these religions around the world know it works, whether they're Christian or not. And I think it's kind of arrogant for us in our modern day to say, oh, well, we understand it now, and that's all a bunch of nonsense, when, billions, if not trillions of people over the last 4,000, 5,000 years had an understanding about this and used it, and it became part of our reality to the point that all over the world it's being utilized. And only today have we started to say, oh, that's nonsense.